Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be looking at my list of top 10 things that have come from GW in the year 2017. It's been a fantastic year, so I've put this list together to look at some of the top picks which have personally inspired me, got me excited the most, and just give me the most enjoyment out of the hobby. So let's jump in and let's get started. Number 10, the Warhammer Community team. Without these chaps, my levels of excitement wouldn't have hit anywhere where they have been this year. They have spoiled me absolutely rotten. Everything from their paint tutorials over on their YouTube channel to just hosting game nights over on their Twitch streams and just speaking about the hobby in general. Their enthusiasm, their passion, their love for the hobby has snowballed over into our fan communities. And what I mean by that is that people who have Facebook groups, Discord groups and stuff like that, the amount of stuff we've been spoiled through the Warhammer Community team and their new website has just, I personally think, breathed a new fresh bit of life into these communities. There's constantly something to talk about now, and that is one of the biggest things I think you can bring to communities like ours, is talking points. It gives us, the fans, something to talk about, something to look at, and something to look forward to. Number 9, Space Hulk Deathwing. This game is by far one of the funnest, if not the funnest games I've ever played when it comes to Warhammer games. The atmosphere the developers managed to capture in this game completely nails the 40k experience for me. In this game, you can play it as single player, you can play it as multiplayer. If you choose to play the single player campaign, then you are a librarian and you are sent forth into the vast Space Hulks, which have been overswarmed by Xenos foes, which you have to purge and take out while completing missions given you by Belial himself. And if you choose the multiplayer option, you and 3 other friends can do this all together while wandering, purging and just exploring these amazing missions which the developers have designed. Now, it's not all love for Space Hulk Deathwing. There were a few problems upon release. The optimization wasn't the best, and of course a lot of people did complain about that. The developers addressed this. There was supposed to be a big patch in December which added a ton of new player content. You were supposed to get a new leveling system where you can unlock weapons, skins, attachments, abilities for your characters. Sadly, that patch has been delayed and it is supposed to come sometime next year. Unfortunately, I have no idea when that is supposed to drop, but when it does drop, the game is going to be coming to consoles as well. So for you console players, 2018 may be your time to purge in Space Hulk Deathwing. Just check up on my channel and I will drop the information as soon as it comes. Number 8, the final stretch to Terra. After all these amazing, glorious years I've been listening to the Horus Heresy series from Black Library, we are now on the final stretch. The story is coming to an end. In 2006, Dan Abnett gifted us with Horus Rising, and since then this series has absolutely exploded in the most fantastic, amazing way possible. The story these authors have given us through all these years have laid the foundations for one of the most truly and epic stories ever told in the Warhammer IP. Now, the team of authors who have been behind the series have had their final meeting this year in 2017. It was the final meeting of who was writing what and what was going to happen. So in 2018, I predict that maybe we will finally get to the Siege of Terror itself and finally see the epic showdown between the Emperor, Sanguinius and Horus upon the vengeful spirit. Number 7, the Warhammer Community events. For me, I've only just got back into the hobby, but this is a new experience for me to actually attend Warhammer World and go to these events. So stuff like the Horus Heresy Open Day, the Warhammer Open Day, to go there to meet all these designers behind the games, ask them questions, get into their mind and see what they're trying to bring to life on the tabletop has been a fantastic experience. And not only that, I've met friends off the internet which I never thought I would do. I've met people that I've been speaking to for a couple of years now, and also people, fans of the channel who have been following my content. I've met people like that at these events, and I've managed to sit down, speak to these guys and make new friends, all thanks to these Warhammer events at the Warhammer open world. I'm going to keep on track at attending these events. The next one is in January the 6th. It is the New Year's open day. Me and a few friends who I've met offline are going to be attending that. We're going to meet and we're just going to walk around, talk Warhammer and just have a nice time. For me, community is a huge thing when it comes to Warhammer, and the way they're doing these events, which brings the community together where everyone can meet, mix and talk about the hobby they so passionately love, is always a great experience. Number 6, the return of specialist games, and one being Necromunda. Necromunda is a popular game with a lot of people. For me, I never really got the chance to play it when it was out in its heyday, so for them to start approaching these new, well, I say new, these specialist games again and bring them out into the future of gaming with, of course, all the fantastic things they can do now with models, all the molds, all the designs of all these gangs, the reintroduction is by far one of the best things I've seen from 2017. And of course, it's not going to stop there. Forge World have got their own dedicated specialist games team now, so in the future we're going to be seeing stuff like Battlefleet Gothic returning, which has been rumoured to be a Horus Heresy version, and of course Titanicus is slowly approaching. There's already been a couple of leaks out, they've spoke about it a bit, but Titanicus for me is going to be the next big specialist game, and of course they're going to keep supporting Necromunda, introducing new gangs and new characters, adding to that. So it's a fantastic time, and 2018 is going to be even a better time for specialist games. Number 5, Black Library. I'm a chap that enjoys his lore, and Black Library have been a complete and utter amazing source for me to get my fix with lore. Month after month, they've been releasing new releases, not only dedicated to Space Marine, but stuff like Rogue Traders, you know, Imperial Guard, Xenos races, all that kind of stuff, and they've been absolutely knocking it out the park. For me, as a lore person, and especially someone who loves audio, their audio side of things have been fantastic. I just love sitting down to some of their stuff they've got on audio, the audio books, the audio dramas. For me, it's been a complete brand new experience, and I just lose myself in the richness of the stories and the lore that they've been producing. So I'm hoping they keep that going into 2018. I know we're going to have a lot more stuff in 2018, one being a return of a certain Inquisitor called Eisenhorn, which I'm absolutely pumped and over the moon for. I cannot wait to get hold of this. The Eisenhorn series for me is probably the best series I've read from Black Library, and of course Dan Abnett of course wrote that. He is a legend himself, and he's going to be returning with his new Eisenhorn book in 2018, so it's going to be fun, good times, and yeah, fantastic job Black Library. You have completely spoiled me this year. Number 4, the Warhammer Fan Films. This year has been a fantastic time for Warhammer films, and now I would never thought I would say that. It's been an absolutely amazing time, and it's not from GW itself, it's from the community of fans. Richard Bolan has brought us the Hell's Reach series from Aaron Nensky-Bowden, which follows Chaplain Grimaldus in his fight against the Xenos race of the Orcs as they assault the world of Armageddon. And we also have this, well, it released this month, and of course I've done videos in it as well. We have the Horus Heresy Death of Hope short film, which is going to be gracing our screens sometime in 2018. These community of fans that have come together and brought us this content, for me, have just exceeded my highest expectations. When we look back on stuff like the Ultramarine film, and then we look at some of the stuff which these fans have been producing, they have just taken the passion, the love, the dedication for the hobby, they've invested it in these projects, and people like myself and others have seen the amount of just awesomeness they've brought to us, and it is an amazing experience. If you haven't watched any of these yet, then you need to go and type it into Google to Hell's Reach by Richard Bolan, or type Death of Hope in, and you will find these great Warhammer films produced by the fans. Number 3, we have arrived at my top 3. Now this was extremely hard for me to break these up. It was so hard because there were so many contenders for number 1. But number 3 had to be the launch of 8th edition. This was the gateway for me getting back into the hobby itself. This new edition and the changes to the rule set really got me back into the hobby itself. The ease of how you can learn the game and get into it and just have these casual, nice games has skyrocketed, not me, but I think other people as well, back into the actual hobby. The story aspect of 8th edition is another whole contender. I was actually going to put this down as a separate category, but I thought, no, I'll just include it in 8th edition, because for the first time, the story has now changed with the 40k IP. We have this great rift that has split the galaxy in twain. There's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of heroes that have been taken away, a lot of heroes that have returned, and it's just a fantastic time personally for me to jump back into the hobby and ride this heresy train all the way to the station. 8th edition has been a fantastic experience. I love everything about it. Number 2, glorious Primaris Marines. Now, I'm sure this may cause some controversy, but for me, Primaris Marines were one of the biggest highlights of 2017. Everything about them just screams awesome. I love the way they look. I love the lore behind them. They're just amazing. Now, for those of you who have been following my channel, you'll probably know that I've purchased every Primaris Marine, the Hellblasters, the captains, the Gravis armor captains, the aggressors, the hover tanks, the dreadnoughts, everything about these guys I'm absolutely in love with. I'm just completely sold. I'm hoping in 2018 we get to see more Primaris units. I'm crossing my fingers for a Primaris flyer, because then I can just fanboy out into the infinity and beyond, because that will completely put me over the moon. Number 1. If you haven't guessed this by now, then are you truly my friend? Of course, it is the return of the Prymarks. Now, a lot of you have been noticing a lot of content that I've been putting out with Prymarks on my channel, because I love Prymarks. They are my favourite thing about Warhammer down to a T. I just love everything about Prymarks. They're just amazing. They're the sons of the Emperor. Why could you not like them? They're just big, nasty, bold, brilliant, devastating, all at the same time. They are amazing, and with 8th edition we saw the return of 3 Prymarks. It's amazing. We've got Rebooted Gilliman waking up from his beauty sleep slumber. We have the Death Lord himself, Mortarion, return and mix a lot of cocktail of plagues. Then of course we had Magnus the Red and his one eye return from the warp and get his revenge on the Space Wolf. And this is just the start. I can sense it. I can feel it in my bones. 2018, more Primarks are going to return to the current storyline. I can just feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I can sense it. Someone's sending me a psychic signal from 40,000 years in the future, and I can sense that more Primarks are going to be returning to the 8th edition, and I'm just over the moon. I want more. I need more in my life. If I had to pick one, of course, it'd be Rogal Dawn, but I'm going to put all my money in the bag and say the lion's got to wake from his slumber in 2018, and we're going to see some juicy times when it comes to Loyalist Primarks. And that's it. That's my list for 2017. Some of the things that most excited me, some of the things that blew my mind. I would love to get your top 10 lists. It's probably going to be different than mine. I'm sure a lot of people put Primaris in the top 3. Some of the people who comment on my channel are not too keen on Primaris Marines, but for me, they were one of my biggest things in 2017. But let me see what yours are, and we can get some nice, healthy topics about it. The year is now over. It is going to be 2018 with less than a couple of days away. I just want to say personally, thank you all for following my channel. Thank you for keeping up with me, all my content, talking to me on my Discord, Facebook groups, Steam, Twitter, everything like that. You chaps have been amazing. You've really made my year. I cannot thank you enough for all the support that you've gave me. We managed to get past 30,000 subscribers this year, which has completely blown my mind. I have no idea how I've achieved that. I've just got to put it down to you guys being fantastic and being so supportive. So thank you so much for everything you've done. It really does mean a lot to me. You've made my year a truly special year in 2017. Thank you so much for watching the video. I shall see you next year in the year 2018, where things can only get better. Things can only get better, guys. It's going to be an amazing year for me. It's going to be an amazing year for you, and it's going to be an amazing year for Warhammer 40,000. So see you all soon. Have a good one and enjoy your New Year's Eve. See you now, and bye-bye.